Today on Follow the Money, we're tackling the Sakto Lang mindset that holds too many Filipinos back from building real lasting wealth. With rising costs, lifestyle pressures, and financial stress at work, how can ordinary income earners take control of their money and break free from the paycheck to paycheck cycle? And joining us to share practical, game-changing strategies is David Angway, a registered financial planner from RFP Philippines. From smart starter moves to dangerous money myths, and even why educated Filipinos still fall for scams, we're breaking it all down. Welcome to Follow the Money, David. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you again, Robert, for having me.
Yes, we need to really get started on how people can learn in terms of following the money and gaining wealth. But let's start with this, David. What separates people who stay stuck in that cycle of the Sakto Lang mindset from those who eventually build real wealth, even if they both started from the same salary?
Well, the sakto lang mindset is like coming from the survival. But the people who are really building wealth are obsessed with three questions. So number one is, how do I grow my money? How do I scale from this area? And lastly, it's like, how do I multiply from this one? That's what the reason why people who are into the saktos are asking a different questions. Like, how can I keep this? How can I not take risks from this one? And that's the main reason why those people who are building wealth are ahead of their game. So it's not how much you earn, it's how you really think.
Now, David, you've worked with countless employees across industries. What's one money mistake that most people don't even realize they're making until it's too late?
Well, they think that income is equivalent to wealth. Well, you know what? That doesn't mean that you earn a lot. That means your future will be better. Because if you are earning really good right now and your lifestyle is actually inflating faster than your salary increase, then you're gonna be running on red. It means that you're gonna be in debt sooner or later. That's why most people nowadays who will be receiving their bonuses this last quarter will not invest. They will only pay their credit card debts because of that mistake.
Now, a lot of people are thinking that budgeting means cutting back or depriving themselves.
Wow.
How can we reframe budgeting so it actually feels empowering and not limiting?
Well, budgeting means proper allocation. So that means freedom plan. Well, for me, without budgeting, you are not aware where your money is coming in or where your money is going out. And that's the main reason why having control means having power. And with those people, let me give you a study right now, that those people who are currently unhappy nowadays with their money means they're not doing their budget. That's the reason why it's correlated with your happiness level.
So how can people now get out of that sakto lang mindset, the bahala na si Batman mindset, in terms of finding ways instead of just spending more than what they earn and actually investing the right way?
Well, you need to actually have a community that is willing to help you out, challenge you, and help you be courageous in terms of making money decisions. Because if you're gonna be stuck within your current community and you're the wealthiest among all those 5 people, then you might not be able to end up in having, or you might not be able to level up your game in terms of the money mindset that you got.
When you say community, is that being around people with the same kind of mindset or a higher type of mindset?
Well,
what do you mean by that?
We want you to get out from the existing communities that you got. Are these people investing right now? Are they investing in stock market, or are they currently heavily in debt? Because there are 2 types of community. It's either the other one is dragging you down or the other is going to lift you up.
Now, if we look at investing, let's say someone only has around 10,000 pesos to their name. What's the smartest move can they make with that money right now to change the direction of their financial future? Well,
stop putting that one into gambling websites. All right, that's the first thing. Okay, and split it into 3. 4,000 pesos, probably put it directly into your emergency savings. The 3,000, put it in a low-cost fund. And then the other 3,000, the remaining one, put it probably in a certification course or probably a mentorship program. Because remember this one, those people who are building their wealth quietly are also building their skills. Because the more skills that you got, the more bills that you can afford. Skills can pay your bills, Robert.
Now, you were mentioning gambling. Is that a problem that's getting bigger by the day?
Yeah, because when you gamble, technically, you'll end up taking a certain risk wherein you don't have any control. But if you invest in a really low-cost fund and you do it for the next 30 years, I can guarantee you're going to become a multimillionaire.
How about for those who, the Sakto Lang mindset, their income is just exact with their expenses, in their monthly payments and all that. What else can they do?
Well, you need to look for another gig along the way. As long as your employer is gonna probably you need to allow your employer know about your side gigs from time to time, or you probably build a business along the way because we know that a single income is really risky at this point in time. Unlike 50 years ago, one income can send a college student, or you can go ahead and simply pay off your mortgage with that particular income. But these days are different, especially at this point in time, right? So I'd like you to have at least 4 income streams coming in directly from different sections, and that's the main reason why you need to ask yourself, what skills do you have that can give value to a certain community that you can exchange money, and you'll end up having another stream of income.
Now, for someone who's been teaching financial literacy and talking to a lot of, let's say, employees or entrepreneurs, do you see now a lot who are employees looking at another income stream, doing side hustles to meet more of the expenses of their monthly bills and monthly expenses?
Well, believe it or not, there's a lot of employees out there. It's like they're averaging at least 3 side gigs, plus with their full-time employment. So the biggest part here is, or the hardest part here is like, how do you juggle? Because some people are also claiming that their health is in jeopardy because they need to manage all these bills, manage all these 3 other side gigs while they're working full-time. And they also have kids. But again, it's not impossible. That's the reason why you need to explore a lot of opportunities now.
Do you see a lot going that route today?
Right now, due to social media, of course, everybody wants to have the newest one, the trendy stuff, right? So that's the reason why the pressure is on to look for another side gig so that they can afford that dream travel plans that they want.
Now, you often highlight the need to be intentional with money, almost like running a business. For the average worker or freelancer, how does that mindset actually work in real life? How can they elevate into that space?
I'll give them a framework. So you're going to be working like a CEO. So TRA. So T stands for track your cash flow. All right. So know those money that's coming in and going out. R means review your financial statement. So not only monthly, but if you can do that daily, that's going to be really good, at least 5 minutes. And lastly, ask or always know your ROI. And ask yourself, is this particular habit of mine, or is this item will become a liability, or is this just a distraction, or is this going to help me in a long way?
Talking about habits, what kind of number one bad habit that usually people have, that's why they lose a lot of money?
Not tracking at all. So for some people who are really nerd in terms of their Excel files, that's gonna work with them. So it's gonna be really good if you do have an Excel or a piece of paper that you can review your numbers, right? So numbers don't lie, guys. Numbers don't lie. But again, that's the number one habit that's killing majority of the people. That's what I mean. In contrary to that one, a lot of Filipinos are doing mental accounting. If you ask them, Robert, how many % of all of your annual income went directly into food? They will also ask, I'm not pretty sure, probably roughly 50, 60% or 70%. Well, that's really big amount of money if you're going to be considering that one.
Well, at that point, there's a lot of pressure on that. But let's talk about now the advent of social media, technology, AI. We're seeing that scams are getting more emotional and more believable. why do even smart, educated Filipinos still fall for them? And what's again the mindset shift we need to stop being easy targets in the social media space?
Well, because scammers target emotions. They don't target logic at all. That's why you need to pause, verify, and even ask, would this investment, will I recommend this investment to my own mother? Because if not, then run away. The scammers will always focus on three things. They will target your emotion: fear, urgency, and greed. If all those things hit, then you run away from that particular investments.
Now, how can we educate them so as not to fall for that for these scams?
Well, for those people who are currently watching right now, you always ask, is this licensed? Okay, if you're talking directly to a person, definitely, are you a licensed individual who is willing or who can actually sell this one? Because
So
if they
like a
don't,
generalized guide.
yes. Because if you're not licensed, then definitely the fidelity, fiduciary, it's like it will be thrown out of the window. So if they're not licensed, then say goodbye directly to them. Next thing, if and when, because these scammers will always focus on testimonials. So there's a social proof that you can earn at least 300% in 1 week. Here's what you need to understand. It's like, how does the business grow its money? Because if it's coming directly from people coming in through recruitment, then it might going to be really a scam, not because of the product, but because of all the recruitment money will only pay for the people along the way.
Again, following the saying, if it's too good to be true.
That's correct. If it's too good to be true, then run away. It's like, so be it. It's like, yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, but
Right?
that's pretty hard. But now, David, you've led financial wellness workshops for companies in your experience. What happens when employers take their workers' financial stress seriously? And what happens when they don't?
Well, number one, when they care, absenteeism drops. The loyalty increases. And lastly, the bottom line of the company also improves. But when the company doesn't really care about its people, there's going to be quiet quitting. There's going to be a lot of burnout. And probably lastly, is like attrition will also increase.
We've been hearing a lot about that quiet quitting. What does it actually mean for the average viewer?
Well, for those people who are currently in that situation, they probably go to work just to have a salary. They don't really compete. They don't really collaborate. They don't actually give too much value anymore directly to the company. They just go home, or they go to work, go home, and then be back. And then for the next 5 years, they won't be experiencing any promotions at all.
Now, looking at the stresses of employees before when employees apply for a job, it's usually what they look at is IQ. Now,
Yes.
we also look at EQ. How important is the balance of when someone's hiring someone with a high IQ would also have a high emotional quotient?
You know what, Robert? It's like there's this saying that there's no easy job, right? Looking at the EQs of the current generation right now, it's like we need to have a strong, resilient workforce. Because if not, then more attrition will happen. The company will suffer, and the productivity will also decline.
Now, we were talking a while ago about pressures of spending. Now, there is that pressure of now to look rich, the travel now, the YOLO, the gadgets, the brunches. Now, what's your advice for resisting this kind of lifestyle pressure, especially when it feels like everyone else is leveling up?
Well, let me go straight to the point. It's like everybody deserves that luxury spending along the way from time to time. But don't do that every single month, or you're gonna be running on red, you're gonna be running on debt. Some people, they're financing their lifestyle through debts. And imagine that. It's like, and they cannot get out for about a decade. That's why you don't want to do that. Now, social media is just a highlight reel, not a balance sheet. Ika nga. So that's the main reason why I'm encouraging those people who are listening. It's like, build your wealth quietly. while other people are chasing clout loudly.
Well, yeah, but there's also reports saying that here in the Philippines, there's a growing problem about higher credit, people borrowing more than they can actually pay. Are we seeing that also now with what we were discussing about pressures of spending, pressures of trying to look rich, keeping up with the Joneses?
Yeah, there's a report there that says that the average Filipino has at least 92,000 pesos credit card debt, average, right? So imagine if you're a Filipino and earning just 30,000 pesos per month. How long can you get out from that level of debt and pressure along the way? So that's the main reason why it's like having an additional income will help. But again, it's like you need to have discipline to get out, the courage to move out, and then ask for a community. Watch, follow the money, and learn something new, right? So, and that's the main reason why it's like it would be better for you to level up your game before the end of December 2025.
I want to discuss more on how people can get out of that trap. But before that, David, we're just getting warmed up. Follow the Money returns after a short break.
Good.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're still watching Follow the Money with David Angway, registered financial planner from RFP Philippines. And he's still with us, breaking down the Sakto Lang mindset and sharing real-world strategies to build wealth regardless of income level. Now, David, I wanted to discuss about how can people get out of that trap of the pressures of spending more than what they earn.
Well, you need to double check first your priorities right now. So that's the main reason why I always tell my clients, consolidate everything, as in all of your wealth, assets, liabilities, and then double check which one is the most urgent thing, and then create a plan through that. If you're having a problems, probably you can go ahead and talk to a financial advisor who is willing to give you that plan ahead of time.
But looking at an employee with an average salary, is it really possible to build wealth from a low salary, or is that just motivational fluff? Now, what's the hard truth for those starting from the bottom?
Well, I'm a living proof for on that one. I started with very low salaries, probably 10K in a month. That's really crazy, right? So what should you do next? Here's this. Number one, you need to have a discipline along the way. Second, another income skills along the way. And lastly, a community that will help you develop. Because I remember this once, like there's no elevator to success, ika nga. But remember this once, like if you do have a mentor who can help you manage and improve your level of thinking, that's going to be an elevator to success. That's why if you want to get out of debt, you look for a mentor, you look for a ways, you look for an income stream that can solve majority of the pressure that you're having right now.
But for someone, let's say, who has a limited net worth, limited salary, where can they find these kinds of tools to help them get out of that rut that they're in?
All right. If you're young, you need to go ahead and use volunteerism. Because when you do volunteers, you do it for free in exchange for a really good network. That will pay off big time. It can give you an ROI of 1,000% sooner or later. Again, it's not guaranteed, but remember, it's like a network. It's not only who you know; it's who knows you.
When we talk about mindset, how hard is it to get that mindset, to get that right habit?
Well, you need to change your environment. If you're probably living in a shanty level, okay, no offense to that one, maybe you can go directly and have a different environment wherein you feel different, you smell different, you look different, and sooner or later it will become a habit and an identity. And that soon you'll be able to make some really good decisions, and that will pile up. Compounding interest will pay off.
David, if someone's watching today could only commit to one new money habit for the next 6 months, what would you recommend, and why that kind of habit?
Well, track your expenses, because when you know where your money is going, you do have the power to make a decision to change it, improve it, or double down to it. And when you make that type of decisions, 6 months from now, I can guarantee you're going to be a lot happier.
Do you see a lot of employees, a lot of entrepreneurs making that mistake still over and over again?
Yes, because they are probably not lazy, but they are overwhelmed with tons of things that's going on within their personal and business life. That's the reason why it's like if you're not if you're currently experiencing that one, ask somebody, probably a secretary, or if you're just starting, probably you ask your mom, your dad to be your accountability partner to help you manage your finances.
That's good. In your view, what's the most dangerous money myth we've grown up believing, and what belief should replace it if we want to move forward?
Well, that money is the root of all evil. Whoever is teaching you about that one, that's leading you to poverty. Replace it with money is a tool that can create an impact. The more you manage well, the more you can serve better.
With the advent of AI, a lot of people are saying we can't escape it. Is it one part of those tools that everybody needs to learn now in terms of getting ahead in the social media space, in the tech space?
Well, becoming AI literate will give you tons of advantage because it can serve you when it comes to your productivity. If you're very smart in terms of creating prompts, definitely all those things can do wonders for you, especially in terms of your finances.
And finally, for anyone watching right now feeling lost financially, where should they start tomorrow morning? What's their day one move if they want to follow the money wisely?
Well, day one is all about clarity. So you need to consolidate again everything that you've got from assets to your liabilities. And once you understand where your money is going out, then you make some changes and create a mini plan for that. Again, you don't need to have an answers to everything. So you need to you need to create an action so that you can have more information.
Okay, let's get to the fun part, David. We have what we call the rapid fire questions.
All right.
You just need to say yes or no.
Go.
You need to explain. So let's start. Is retail therapy ever a legit money move? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Is it okay to lie about your salary to avoid libre expectations?
No.
Okay. Is financial confidence hotter than looks?
Yes.
Is it okay to fall in love but not merge bank accounts?
Yes.
Do you think having a savings account is more attractive than having a six-pack?
Oh, man, no.
Okay. Is splitting the bill on a first date a green flag?
Yes.
Okay. Is a fat bank account a bigger turn on than a fast car?
Yeah, yeah.
And finally, David, complete the sentence. Money is the root of all.
Of all your happiness.
All right. Thank you, David, for joining us and your insights. Hope it really helps a lot of our average Pinoys who really want to get out of that rut and really start building wealth the right way.
All right, thank you so much again, Robert, and follow the money. All right, for having me.
Okay, thank you very much, David Angway, for joining us on Follow the Money. Your practical money tips make building wealth feel doable, not daunting. And before we go, a child laborer once chose to break from inherited struggle. In his Gospel of Wealth, steel magnate Andrew Carnegie, the former child laborer, said, "I was hungry, I was beaten, but I had something nobody could take from me, my mind and a plan to change my life." And that's it for today's edition of Follow the Money. I'm Robert Sam. Thanks for watching. Keep it here on BNC.